really excited to show you my next tutorial. Let me talk to you on how it first started by being curious about a specific item that I ordered from Fright Props. I saw their emails coming in, and I had an email about the servo motor. It's a kit. The servo controller comes with a motor and comes with a specific adaptive bracket, and it enables to turn the head from side to side. So the initial purpose was just to install the servo motor. And then I said, you know what? It'll be fun if it could be hung and greet the people as they come in the hunt, because that's the purpose. And essentially direct them to my hunt. So that's how the whole thing started. The inspiration actually came from the idea of moving the head. And this is my process on how it evolved into this cross. So I got this low quality skeleton from Amazon. I was very disappointed for what I got for about $70 Canadian. It's amazing how 1 year in the market can make such a difference. You could see the quality decrease year over year. So anyways, I had this project. My purpose was to make it look even better, so I decided to add insulating foam, and this is the brand that I used, the Great Stuff that I used, and that's why I had to cover the eyes, because I put LED eyes on the skeleton in order to protect it. And then I thought that my camera was on record while I was applying the foam, but no, it wasn't. But anyways, it doesn't matter. Just make sure that you add the foam a lot inside of the rib cage so that, you know, you can give it more meat and make it scarier. And because I used a servo motor, I protected the servo motor and all of the attachments with masking tape. I wanted to make sure that I was also protecting that from the insulating foam. And the servo kit, I hadn't seen that it's still available on Fright Props, but I paid a lot of money for it, and this price is not even counting the shipping duties, because I live in Montreal, Canada. So it winded up pretty expensive in the end, especially when I was paying the duties and of course the exchange rate for the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. Now the skeleton has been randomly spray painted in black matte paint, the cheapest aerosol can you can get. That's what I would recommend. And then I highlighted the guts, the meat, with basic acrylic paint, just with a paintbrush, just randomly painted it with a paintbrush all over. I then built a basic wood cross. I figured, you know what, let me have fun with this skeleton and hang it up on a wood cross. And the wood cross itself is on a plywood piece of wood that I already had. Materials that I collected in my shop. I quickly designed the cross as if the story is like if anyone would have built one after catching a wandering skeleton, then they would decide to hang it this way below a fire pit for scaring all the other skeleton that might lurk nearby. So that's my little story behind it. I broke the joints of the arms to make them move freely and attach them with zip ties. And I did the same thing with the hands directly on the cross. The wood plank is really thin enough for me to place the wiper motor behind it, and I bent the bracket that it came with. So the wiper motor came with the bracket, but I wanted to make sure that the bracket did fit the hole, because I couldn't make a hole that was too large. So I used my vise that you see right there in order to bend it appropriately. And then I used whatever hardware I had to attach the motor to the skeleton. You can find a ball joint bracket, but this really worked just fine for me and can be adjusted to fit the movement you need with the wiper motor. So for this project, I used what I already had with me, a picovolt from Fright Props, but this is really relatively expensive and overkill. All you need is a regular dimmer, as this one shown here that I ordered from Amazon. It can handle anything from 5 to 30 amp power and a 10 or 15 amp power block, power supply. And my motor is only 6 amp, but doesn't matter. It draws the power that it needs, so that it's important that the power supply and the dimmer is a bit beefier than the motor. This way you can really use it without overheating, and the motor will draw whatever power it needs. Now for the fire pit. I bunched up craft paper that I taped in the shape that I needed. This way I'll be using a little bit less insulating foam. The base is narrow, but it is designed this way to fit in a doorway. The pipe is for the fog to come out of. It's a pipe that I got from Spirits of Halloween, a very good pipe, and I pre-drilled holes where I wanted the fog to come out of. Then I covered the holes with toothpicks or small pieces of wood to avoid being blocked by the spray foam that I'll be putting on. Underneath the pit is where I plan to hide all of the electrical power, extension cord, and controllers. And for now, I'll leave the length of the tubing as is, because I don't know specifically where I'll be locating the prop in my haunt. I got the same flickering lights that I used for my Demon Legend fire pit. I have the tutorial up on my channel. I highly recommend you check it out. And also a Halloween orange net light, a set that I got from Walmart. Even before the spray foam is applied, I like the effect that it does already. This is the motivation I need to keep on going.
Oh, I just thought of this now. It would be nice to have some skulls. I can always add them later.
That night I ran out of insulating foam, so I ordered more from Home Depot, and I was happy to see that the Lepage Loctite was available, and for only about $10 a can. The Lepage Loctite is much more thicker and stickier, so it enables me to create that effect that you see on the cross. I was just applying it and then squashing it with my fingers, and I just find that it provides this organic look to the whole project. And you'll see that I'll be painting it with red, and later on I'll add some moss and so on.
And I stuck some with hot glue, little piece of extra insulating foam that I had painted that actually broke off, so I just glued them with hot glue, and it does a pretty good effect. But right now what I want to show you is I have time. It's gorgeous day outside, and I'm actually putting little pieces of Kleenex mixed with latex liquid, and I'm just going to show you quickly how I go about it. So I take a piece of Kleenex, so I take off a ply from the Kleenex, then I break them into pieces like this, and I let them soak into the liquid latex. Look at my brush. I really don't care. I'm just applying it very, very randomly. Oh no, that was good. I don't want to tear it off. Phew. So, no, you see my hands? On the ribs, randomly. And once it dries, it gives the effect of skin. I'm leaning back so you guys can see it because I can't touch my camera to lift it up. Because everything is so freaking messy right now. The servo motor is right there. The wire comes down, and I've put masking tape, but I know that masking tape with rain will eventually peel away, so I put some latex over it. Then I'll be able to paint it. So just one layer of liquid latex on top of it will be sufficient to keep it in place. So the wire comes in, and then it comes out here inside where the controller is. But it gave me the idea to do some skin effect even on the wood. You see here? I did the same thing with the wiper motor wire that goes all the way down. So I'm considering doing some skin effect. So without spending too much time on the back, but I think where I'm going to be locating the prop, it's going to be, people might be walking around it. So we'll see.
I highly recommend moving your project outside for continuing to paint because you'll need a couple of cans of paint to cover the fire pit and the rest of the cross because the fumes will get to you. And I figured it out, a specific technique when applying the paint that I found fun is to have some kind of a rag or one of those workers' shop Scott towels handy so that you can wipe off the excess paint as you go. And then as you can see, you just wipe off the excess and the paint will stay in the cracks, but by wiping off the excess, you keep the highlights and it avoids you from using additional gray paint because you still want the bones and all of the texture to show up a little bit in the dark. So yeah, just do it very randomly and wipe it off as you go.
I didn't plug in the smoke machine yet. Just open the eyes. So these LED lights that I got from Amazon, I can tell you they are totally unreliable. On Showtime there's always one that burns out. How I planned this is that I would put everything here just as an additional protection to the rain. Put everything in a box like this. For now, let me just leave them out because for sure I will need to continue working on the programming until Halloween. So just leave it out like that. If it rains, I'll cover them up. If it doesn't rain, I'll leave them like that. There you go. This is a mixture of 2 colors of acrylic paint. Okay, so now let me just do the whole demo. So I'm plugging in my smoke machine. I've plugged it in while it's warming up until the light comes on. I'm gonna undo the pieces of toothpicks that I've put in. Hopefully I can find them all. Really? So let's see how that works. There you go. That's cool. Great effect. I'm gonna add some moss, little fake moss everywhere, and a little bit of green, not only the red that I've put in, but I'm gonna do green so that it feels like more organic.
I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I really had fun doing it. I had fun doing the project. I did rush a little bit to have the tutorial available as early as I could. It's currently October 5th, and I know that there is enough time for you to create this project. So happy Halloween, happy hunting, and please, if you could, just like the video and subscribe if you've enjoyed the content, so that I could be motivated to create even more projects for you. So all the best, happy hunting, and enjoy.